At our company party, my business partner's wife Linda said to me, "If you spend one night with me, I'll pressure my husband to promote you." This woman was both trying to seduce me and offering a bribe. What happened after that moment was nothing like I expected. Hello. If you're subscribed, let's jump right into the video. This story will make you furious, but justice will be served in the end. Ready? Let's go. Let's hit that like button right off the bat. I absolutely love reading your amazing comments. I'm Alex, 32 years old, and I co-own a digital marketing agency with my best friend Mark. We've been business partners for 4 years and best friends since college. Our company, Digital Edge Marketing, has grown from just the two of us working out of Mark's garage to a legitimate business with 12 employees and annual revenue of about $800,000. We split everything 50-50, ownership, profits, responsibilities, and decision-making. Mark and I complement each other perfectly. He's the creative visionary who comes up with brilliant campaign ideas, while I handle the business side, finances, operations, client relations. Our partnership has been nothing but successful. Mark has been married to Linda for 6 years. She's 34, works as a freelance graphic designer, and from the outside, they seemed like a happy couple. Linda would occasionally help with our company's design work, and she was always friendly and professional with me. Or so I thought. We had decided to throw a big celebration party for landing our largest client ever, a tech startup that signed a $200,000 annual contract with us. It was held at a nice restaurant downtown with all our employees, their spouses, and some important clients. The evening was going perfectly. Everyone was celebrating. Mark gave a great speech about our company's growth, and Linda seemed proud and supportive of our success. I was having a great time networking and celebrating with our team. Around 10 p.m., as the party was winding down, I stepped outside to get some fresh air and check some messages on my phone. That's when Linda appeared beside me. "Alex, can I talk to you for a minute?" she asked with an unusual smile. "Of course," I said, putting my phone away. She moved closer than normal, and I immediately felt uncomfortable. "You know, this success is really impressive. You and Mark have built something amazing." "Thanks, we've worked really hard for this." "I know you have. Especially you. Mark always talks about how you handle all the business operations." I nodded, still not sure where this conversation was going. "Alex, can I be honest with you about something?" "Sure, I think you're very attractive. I've thought so for a while now." I froze. This was Mark's wife telling me she found me attractive. "Linda, I think you've had a bit too much to drink tonight." "I'm completely sober," she said, stepping even closer. "And I have a proposition for you." "What kind of proposition?" I asked, though I was already dreading the answer. "Mark and I have been having problems lately. He's always focused on work, never pays attention to me anymore." "I'm sorry to hear that, but maybe you should talk to him about it." "I have a better idea," she interrupted. "If you spend one night with me, I'll pressure Mark to give you a bigger role in the company. Maybe even make you the senior partner." I stared at her in complete shock. She was offering me sex in exchange for career advancement, using her influence over her husband as leverage. "Linda, what are you saying?" "I'm saying we could both get what we want. You get more control of the business. I get some attention from someone who appreciates me. This is insane. You're married to my best friend and business partner. What Mark doesn't know won't hurt him. And think about it. You've been doing most of the real work anyway. Don't you deserve to be the senior partner?" She was trying to manipulate me by appealing to any potential resentment I might have about our equal partnership. "Linda, I'm going to pretend this conversation never happened, and I think you should too." "That's not very smart, Alex. This is a limited time offer." The way she said it sounded almost threatening. "I'm going back inside," I said, moving toward the door. "Think about it," she called after me. "I could make your career, or I could make things very difficult for you." That last comment sent chills down my spine. I spent the rest of the party in a daze, trying to act normal while my mind raced. Linda's proposition had put me in an impossible situation. If I told Mark what his wife had said, it would destroy their marriage and potentially our business partnership. Mark would be devastated, and he might not even believe me. If I didn't tell him, I'd be keeping a huge secret from my best friend and business partner. Plus, Linda had made what sounded like a veiled threat about making things difficult for me. I decided to sleep on it and see if Linda would just forget about the whole thing. Maybe she really had been drinking more than I realized, or maybe she'd come to her senses and realize how inappropriate her proposition had been. I was wrong. The following Monday, Linda started showing up at our office more frequently. She'd bring Mark lunch, drop off files, or just stop by to check on how things were going. But whenever Mark wasn't around, she'd make subtle comments to me. "Have you thought about what we discussed?" she'd ask when we were alone. "There's nothing to think about," I'd respond. "That's too bad. Mark really values my opinion about business decisions." She was reminding me that she had influence over Mark and could use it against me if I didn't cooperate. During our weekly partner meetings, Mark started bringing up issues that seemed to come from Linda's influence. Linda mentioned that maybe we should restructure some of our responsibilities, Mark said one day. "What kind of restructuring?" She thinks maybe one of us should focus more on creative work, while the other handles pure business operations. This was exactly what Linda had offered me, a way to become the senior partner by taking over business operations while Mark focused on creative work. I think our current arrangement works well, I said. Yeah, you're probably right, it was just a thought, but I could tell Linda was planting seeds in Mark's mind about changing our partnership structure. 2 weeks after the party, Linda cornered me in the office parking garage after work. Alex, you're being very stupid about this, she said bluntly. Linda, I told you I'm not interested. You should be. I could convince Mark to give you controlling interest in the company. I don't want controlling interest. I like our partnership the way it is. That's noble, but not very practical. Mark listens to me about business decisions. I could make you the majority partner, or I could convince him that maybe you're not as valuable to the company as he thinks. Now the threat was explicit: sleep with her and get rewarded, or refuse and face consequences. Are you threatening me? I'm offering you a choice. The smart choice is obvious. The smart choice is for you to stop this insanity before you destroy your marriage and our business. My marriage is already over, Alex. Mark barely pays attention to me anymore. At least this way something good could come out of it for both of us. The situation reached a crisis point during our monthly board meeting with our accountant and lawyer. These meetings usually covered financial performance, legal compliance, and strategic planning. Halfway through the meeting, Linda unexpectedly showed up. Sorry to interrupt, she said, but I need to discuss something important with Mark and Alex. Our accountant and lawyer looked confused, but Mark said, Linda, we're in the middle of a business meeting. This is about business, she insisted. I've been thinking about the partnership structure, and I have some concerns. My heart sank. She was going to sabotage me in front of our professional advisors. What kind of concerns? Asked our lawyer. I'm worried that the current 50-50 split isn't reflecting the actual contributions each partner is making. Mark looked embarrassed. Linda, this really isn't the time or place. No, I think it's important to address this. Alex, you handle most of the business operations, right? We both contribute equally in different ways, I said carefully. But you do most of the financial management, client relations, day-to-day operations. She was setting up an argument that I deserved more than 50% of the company. Linda, Mark interrupted. What are you trying to say? I'm saying maybe the partnership agreement should reflect reality. Alex is doing more of the heavy lifting. Our lawyer and accountant exchanged glances. This was an awkward situation for everyone. I think our current arrangement is fair, I said firmly. Really? Linda asked with fake surprise. Even though you're handling most of the actual business management? She was trying to force me into a position where I'd either have to agree with her, which would hurt Mark, or disagree with her, which might make her escalate her threats. That's when Mark did something that shocked everyone, including Linda. You know what, Linda? Alex is right. Our partnership is perfectly fair, and I know exactly why you're trying to cause problems. Linda's face went pale. What do you mean? I mean, I know about your proposition to Alex at the company party. The room went dead silent. I stared at Mark in shock. What proposition? Linda asked, trying to sound innocent. The one where you offered to sleep with my business partner in exchange for pressuring me to give him more control of our company. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Mark, how did you? Because Linda doesn't know that our security system records audio in the parking garage. I heard your entire conversation from last week. Linda looked like she was going to be sick. You've been recording us? She asked. I've been recording everything since Alex started acting weird around you. I knew something was wrong, so I checked the security footage and audio from the party and from the parking garage. Mark turned to our lawyer and accountant. I apologize for this unprofessional situation. My wife has been trying to manipulate our business partnership for personal reasons. Mark, let me explain. Linda started. There's nothing to explain. I heard everything. The proposition, the threats, the attempts to change our partnership structure. He looked at me. Alex, I'm sorry you've been dealing with this alone. You should have told me immediately. I didn't want to destroy your marriage or our partnership. My marriage was already destroyed by her behavior. Our partnership almost was too. Linda made one last desperate attempt. Mark, he's lying about what happened at the party. I never propositioned him. Mark pulled out his phone. Would you like me to play the audio recording? Linda realized she was caught. She left the meeting without another word. Mark and I finished our business meeting, though it was awkward with our lawyer and accountant having witnessed the family drama. After they left, Mark and I had a long conversation about what had happened. I'm filing for divorce, Mark said. This isn't just about what she did to you. I've discovered she's been manipulating me about business decisions for months, trying to change our partnership structure for her own reasons. I'm sorry, Mark. I know you love her. I loved who I thought she was. The real Linda is someone I don't recognize. What does this mean for our business? Nothing changes between us. You proved your loyalty by refusing her proposition and trying to protect our partnership. I proved mine by investigating the situation instead of just believing my wife's lies. Mark and Linda's divorce was finalized within 4 months. During the proceedings, it came out that Linda had been having financial problems and was hoping to gain more control over our business assets through manipulating our partnership. Our business actually grew stronger after Linda was out of the picture. Without her constant interference and manipulation, Mark and I were able to focus entirely on growing the company.
we've since expanded to 18 employees and hit our first $1 million revenue year. Mark started dating someone new, a teacher who has no interest in our business and respects our professional partnership. As for Linda, the divorce settlement gave her nothing from our business since she had no legal ownership. Her attempts to manipulate our partnership actually worked against her in court. This experience taught me that loyalty and honesty are the foundations of any successful partnership, whether business or personal. Linda's proposition put me in an impossible position, but telling the truth was always the right choice, even when it seemed like it might destroy everything. Most importantly, I learned that people who try to manipulate others usually reveal their true character eventually. Linda's schemes became so elaborate that she eventually trapped herself. Mark and I are stronger business partners now because we've been through this crisis together and proven our loyalty to each other. Sometimes the hardest test of integrity comes when someone offers you exactly what you think you want, but at a price that would compromise everything you actually value. Thanks for this story. Have you ever been in a situation where someone tried to use personal relationships to manipulate professional ones? I'm curious how you handled it in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe so you don't miss these drama stories. See you in the next video.